Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It is Sunday night. It is time for some TTRPG fun here. Welcome to Truly Madly Falkenstein. And I'm going to bat the wonderfulness over to the fabulous Chris, and he can give you the introduction, shall we say, to the shenaniganry that we will be having tonight. Thank you, Chris, for being here.
Well, thank you, Deirdre. We are back. Truly Madly Falkenstein is here for episode 2, which I forgot to give Prax a name for. We will call it Circling the Heavens as we circle over the city of Oslo in our nifty little dwarven airship, as a reminder from last week. My name is Chris Geary. You can find me here on Sundays as the host of Truly Madly Falkenstein. And we're going to go counterclockwise this week and start with Trooper. Tell us about your character. Thank you for being here.
Oh, it is my pleasure to be here. Hello, hello. I am Trooper SJP, and I am playing today Adelwolf Brandt, who is our action alchemist, who is here to help stop diabolical masterminds from taking over the world, and has known the other characters. Well, he has known Deirdre, the murderous godmother, fairy godmother, all of his life, and has known the tinkerer who, as far as he knows, has only good intentions and no questionable motives all of her life, and is very excited to try to stop a diabolical mastermind from taking over the world.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
him.
you. And on to the fabulous genius, super genius of the group.
Super genius, not super villain yet. Zephrine Moreau. She is, a gifted thinker, inventor, trying to come up with a lot of gadgets, but trying to come up with her big, beautiful idea, that's going to impress hopefully two very specific people. Maybe others, that'd be cool, but, something impressive, something big, something world changing. And we just haven't figured out what that is yet, and that's okay, because until then, she has her nemesis to stop.
Excellent.
Yep.
And that nemesis is?
Oh, it's our baddie. What's his name?
Mr. Nordholm.
Yes, Anders. Anders Nordholm. And he's not my nemesis because he keeps rejecting my applications to the World Crime League. No, it's because he wants to burn down the polar ice caps or melt them. It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Flood the world.
I mean, can he really be your nemesis if he doesn't even know who you are?
He has to know who I am because he keeps rejecting me. I've sent him a lot of applications.
That doesn't mean that he knows who you are. That just means he's rejecting your applications.
Yes, he's my nemesis.
Yes. And then on to our fairy godmother.
Yes. Hi, everybody. I'm your friendly neighborhood Prax, and I get to play Lady Deirdre, our very well-adjusted, slightly murderous, high elf fairy godmother, who is not abusing Pixie Post in any way, shape, or form to express her frustrations with certain high-ranking individuals on this continent, and is not possibly considering ways to ensure that Zephrine does not draw the wrong sorts of attention. And particularly because one of those
Lay low.
individuals that she wants to get the attention of is a horrible, horrible Englishman.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. And now back to the skies as Bricks and Swizzle and their airship circle over Oslo. We see below us the city sprawling out. We can zero in on the industrial district, large smokestacks, blocky buildings, as that industrial aspect of the world invades the pristine northern peninsula, really, of Europe. And slowly but surely, the ship will come around to a fairly tall, 6-story, especially for this time period, hotel, and land on the roof.
Point of order. I think that before we went to landing, we wanted to make a slow, low circle around the city to do a bit of
Oh, yes.
reconnaissance, if I remember
Spyglass.
correctly.
Yes, you do. And so, retcon that back up a bit. Before our landing, as we're making that circle, what areas would you like them to focus on in particular?
Wherever Anders, anything that seems his style. This terrible,
Okay.
terrible person. So if he's like a classy guy, probably the more upscale side. If he's more on the download, trying to hide kind of type of person, then maybe more of the slummy areas.
He himself tries to present himself as a nobelese, sort of nouveau riche.
Tries is the
yes.
problem here. He should just be.
No, Norway doesn't have the expansive nobility that other countries in Europe does. They do have nobles, of course, but it's a little bit more
Sounds like a
socialist.
him problem.
Yes. And so he finds himself trying to invent himself as a form of high-ranking
I'll be paying
individual.
attention to like that band of like middle class then, because he'd probably be somewhere, because he wouldn't, if he's trying to present himself that way, he wouldn't want to be fully into the slums.
No,
But also
no.
he would want to bring his stuff into the high upper class. So I'm gonna be looking at the middle class areas.
Mm-hmm.
And
for
to just if we
choices.
could just do a nice slow circle around the entire city, that would be nice.
Mhm. Excellent.
And so make sure we also get the industrial areas, residential areas, that sort of a thing. And I will cast a
Middle
spell
class and
as
industrial.
well. Yeah.
That's where I'm gonna be looking.
And I will also. I feel like this is. Where did it go? Yeah. Since the comme il faut. I'm going to just begin to cast a spell. That is, it will take a little bit of time to cast this.
Yeah.
And what I'm looking for is to create detect invisible is what I'm looking for, but rather than just you have to decide what is your what specific sort of things that you're looking for that is being illusioned. And rather than people, I'm looking for magical things that are being illusioned. So I'm looking to see specifically if there's some sort of illusion or glamour that's being placed upon not people, but magical objects is what I'm looking for.
Gotcha.
And this will be, distance is what I can see, and depending on it probably would take us like what, an hour or something to
Mm-hmm.
circle the city. So I will be doing like this. And I've got actually, I'll do this for the durations listed as default is 1 day. So I will
Mm-hmm.
do this for 1 day, uh, and within my site, and my subjects will be magical, uh, magical objects, items.
Mm-hmm.
The subject is magical rather than mortal, as it were. So I'll be doing looking for, you know, true visions, that sort of thing. I will need
Excellent.
to slowly draw cards for this,
Mm-hmm.
one by one. This fortunes is some magic. So this is going to be 25 energy points is what this is going to need. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and this is going to be hearts is the main suit.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I believe it's what, 3 minutes per draw, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
I, I believe. So my first draw is going to be a 9 of spades. So this will be 1.
You can also
Oh, I
dispose of if you wish and not use that
yes.
energy.
Um, I will hold this one for a moment. Now I do get to keep my sorcery energy as well, correct?
Yes.
So
That is your base
I am
energy.
my base energy is 10, so I currently have 11.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing this slowly as the Zephyrine does her spyglasses.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And um,
I
let's,
let her do
I'm going to
her.
move on over to Zephyrine.
Yes.
Ooh, hearts. I love it.
I got a 5 of hearts, so
Um,
16.
One of the things that you said you wanted to look for was in the residential areas,
Yes.
in the middle to middle upper or middle to middle upper class kind of area,
Mm-hmm.
um, to see if there's anything that stands out that might
Yeah.
be related to Mr. Nordholm.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and what
Uh,
sorts of clues do you think are going to be most advantageous that you might spy with your little eye, so to speak?
Well, I've done a little research on this guy because he keeps rejecting my applications. So, I
Mm-hmm.
want to know, try to figure out why.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because he's a little pretentious and he thinks he's a noble, but he's not. He fancies himself one, but as an actual noble, I know people who are trying to be noble. I know like those indicators of like, yes, look how fancy and noble I am. But really, it's like when new money tries to be old money, but they're not old money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for like those kinds of indicators,
Mm-hmm.
along with excess like power lines going into the house, like something that like
Mm-hmm.
because he's gonna be working on his experiments, or at least doing some research at home,
Mm-hmm.
if not his lab. Or if I find his lab, that's great too. So something that's got a little bit more juice going into it than the size would
Mm-hmm.
necessarily dictate, or a house that's trying too hard.
Yes.
You know.
We will find nothing in the, shall we say, residential areas that seem to be set up
Mm-hmm.
that way.
Okay.
The current infrastructure of Oslo um, seems to not really um, be set up to handle that kind of juice in those areas.
Mm-hmm.
Residential remains very residential in that case.
Okay.
But as we
Go over the industrial.
go over the industrial area, which, if you want to follow along on the map of Oslo I shared with the players, is south of the train yards.
Okay.
There are no buildings at that time, but this is where, or there are a few buildings at this time, but this is where our fantasy elements come in. And with the train yards, as they back up to the port, it seems like a very logical place for lots of warehouses and other forms of industrial production to happen, as it can import and export goods from both the ports of uh, Bjørvika and Oslo Haven, um, as well as export them across the trains. So, if you look at the map in the area of Soringen and Saxogen in the bottom right, that's where you'll find it actually a lot more built up than what's on the map.
Okay.
And in there is a series of what you would say higher capacity infrastructure for both
Okay.
electricity and waterworks. Now, this
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be solely for any one spot,
But it's an area to focus in.
but it's an area to focus on for sure, because that would be able to handle the sorts of manufacturing that you believe
It's
is
got to be able to
necessary.
handle a heavy load.
Exactly, for such a project as what he is taking on. And that would be a good area to explore when you all take time to go by foot in the
I'll make note of
city
it on
Oslo.
a map that we have.
Yeah, and that's closest to the Soringen area.
Okay.
Quick note before we go on to Lady Deirdre. If we reach 10 reskeets of the announcement post, we will have someone, one of our players, divulge a secret from their character sheet for the audience. Little Easter eggs, so to speak, of who they are and what might show up in the game later on. We are currently, I believe, at 6, so we're over halfway there. Nope, 7 now. Back to the circling of the city. Has Lady Deirdre made her way to the good God, what do they call it now? I've lost my ship
Good God,
terminology.
y'all.
The
The viewing deck.
Yes, to look out upon the city. And is there anything in particular that she would like to focus on?
She's probably looking around. If we're focusing on the industrial side, she's expecting not to see a lot of fairy folk or glamour in the area.
No.
Because it would be just bad. It's just all around not fun. But she is just going to keep a lookout otherwise to see if there are any large, glamours that shouldn't be there.
The most impressive glamour is actually where you believe the hotel is. It's near the large park on the what would be western side of the city, just to the south of the park. There's a tall building there that seems to project itself slightly different than its real ability. What is your character's glamour skill at?
Glamour's at good.
Good.
Her kindred powers are at excellent.
Would you like to play a card to see more, or is that sufficient for what you are looking for?
I mean, for now it's sufficient. She's just trying, she knows that that's where the vampire is supposed to be. If it'd be, it's like that checks off. If there was anything else large enough like that, that would be the concern, and she would be more focused on. But just the...
No. There are a few minor blips that you might catch your eye because the size of the park itself is fairly extensive, and you do believe that some of them might just be because they're so minimal in their power. They might be things like fairy lights or things of that nature that are there to beautify that particular area, but nothing of note in the way of glamours that you can see from this level. Um,
Keeping an eye on things and letting the
Excellent.
younglings have the reign.
and we will make our way back to our action alchemist.
I just checked. It's 2 minutes per card. It
Okay.
took me 12 minutes
Mhm.
to draw enough power to cast this spell, and afterwards I am able to, I make sure I use um, my wand to make the spell,
Mhm.
and when it is done, I'm able now to, for an entire day, to see those magical or star metal things that are being hidden,
Mhm.
um, you, mystically, through illusions and so forth,
Mhm.
to detect this magical thing um, with insight. There is a small cantrip that allows you to detect magic, but um, it is not. It is much smaller in range, and it doesn't last as long.
Mhm.
And also, it's much faster to cast. But I now am able to see things that are magic or star metal that have been, that are illusioned away, glamored
Mhm.
away, sort of hidden. Not anything else, though. And I will have this on, and I'm just going to be looking for uh, things that are
Did
hidden
you
this way.
did you use both of the offsuits as part of this, or did you not?
I did, but
Okay.
I have more in the on suits than the off suits,
Mhm.
so I should be okay.
Yeah. As a side note for the audience, there is an element called spell harmonics that if you pull energy, too much energy that is opposite or different than the suit that you are looking for, it can have side effects on the or when the spell is cast. Not all of them are necessarily negative, um, but they are complications, shall we say, to the spell, which is why I had asked. So, yes,
Indeed.
while you are scanning the area, especially in the industrial district, you will note that there is one, um, I guess, plant of sorts, manufacturing building with large smokestacks that seems to be covering up exactly how big and how many smokestacks it
Hmm.
has.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, to someone without
Hmm.
your
Hmm.
um,
Okay.
insights and magical ability, it would look like a much more reasonably sized building, and it's much larger than that.
Hmm. Hmm. I'll say, Lady Deirdre, and also Lady Zephyrin. This building seems to be. There's something magical about this factory here.
Mm.
Really? Hmm.
Hmm.
Let me see.
It looks pretty par for the course to your eye, but
Hmm.
it is one of the ones that when you're looking at
It's in that
uh,
district.
yeah, it's in that district that
Oh,
it's kind of like to the central part of that area that has the increased infrastructure.
it is in that in the middle of the district. I was thinking we should investigate due to certain qualifications you would have to make the infrastructure to create the things that they are trying to create.
Hmm. Yes, perhaps we should just take a bit of a walk uh,
Hmm.
through that area.
Perhaps.
It's a good idea.
Perhaps.
Hmm.
Very true.
Hmm. Agreed.
Apparently, I was muted for stream, but not for the rest of y'all.
Oh,
No, I was asking about
Magic.
the horrible magics. Again, the Englishmen. This is why you don't trust them. This is why we need to find out who owns the land and the property, and perhaps might also be wise to know exactly what the building's supposed to look like, rather than what perhaps you might be seeing out of it.
yeah. Agreed. Agreed.
So I think we're landing, greeting a vampire, and then tea.
Oh,
Ooh,
yes, I love tea.
that would be very nice. I like a good tea. Uh, it's quite civilized. Will we be having tea with the vampire? Do vampires actually drink tea?
Depends on the vampire.
Hmm, I don't know how that works. Uh, all right, but yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I don't know.
As the
Ask them.
ship comes around and lands atop the Grand Hotel, you will be greeted by a what looks like an employee. They are dressed in formal attire. They actually have, there's actually four of them there to carry any luggage or any bags that you may have.
Oh, yes, yeah, please. I imagine Zephyrin does not pack light.
I figured as much. um,
Deirdre has the one bag, and that's it.
okay.
And Adelwolf has like sort of like a what you call it, like a messenger bag, so he can hold like with lots of beakers and test tubes, a nice canvas bag for this travel bag. So he probably has like a travel bag, a messenger bag, um, and like a small backpack with, you know, important things that you would need in a backpack, like books, paper. Writing that's what people and also a canteen. He's got his in case we need to go traveling out in the wilderness or something like this. One must always be ready for this action. He doesn't have a whip though, so he's not whipping anything with a bull whip, nothing like that. In case something was wondering about it, but he's got, you know, like a couple of bags and such.
No,
Like a steamer trunk of like tinkering tools, and then
oh,
like another one
totally.
of just like clothes. But it's
Mhm.
all like the same style and the same colors, but you know, you gotta be fresh. And then like a toiletries duffel, and like she travels like a noble woman. She's just like,
They
yeah.
do have a cart there that one
Oh,
of
good.
them, two of them will load all of that
That's very
onto.
convenient for them.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, they'd have to make trips.
Yes. And they will lead you to, there are two elevators. One seems to be more of a freight style elevator, and the other is for guests
No, I go to the
that
guest one.
they,
I assume that the
of
staff is
course,
going to take the freight one.
correct.
Yeah.
Um, the person who greets you is by the name of, uh, sorry, uh, Mikhail Thornson, and he will bow politely and say, "The lady of the hotel has sent me to greet you and to thank you." Um, and Lady Markin will come to uh, see you, or she can invite you to tea if you prefer. However, you'd like your introduction made. I was told to ask which was the preference of our guests.
I look to Lady Deirdre because it's Lady Deirdre. Obviously, she's the one who would have the proper answer for this question. It might be a trick.
I believe there are certain social niceties that must be performed, are there not? And she's looking at this individual, trying to gauge if they are aware of, like, a lady of the High Fae is entering the building owned by a vampire and hasn't been offered bread and salt. Like, there are questions that she now has in her brain. Even if it's doubling as a hotel, these are now causing questions in her brain. It's like, I have a sword, you can't see it, but I am fully prepared to deploy it.
And I'm mistaken. It's Lady Erdal. I got the two of them mixed up.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Lady Markin is the Mason headmaster in Oslo.
Yeah.
The lady of the hotel is Helena Erdal.
Yeah. So, I believe there are certain social niceties that we're supposed to be having at tea.
Excellent. Then I will make sure that that is communicated to Lady Erdal. All of the preparations were made, but she wanted the opportunity, if you all wished more privacy, to have such in your rooms instead. And they will lead you down the hotel. You will be on the 6th of the 7th floors, and
With you.
they will go ahead and each of you has your own room. They're all on the same hall, so no one is too far separated. And they will introduce or open the doors and allow you in. Each of you has a small sitting room that then leads back to a bedroom and ensuite of sorts.
Perfect.
There's a clawfoot tub in each ensuite, as well as at this time, which would be very kind of higher end, full like a toilet, sink, all of those kinds of things that you would expect in modern day. All of that does exist in such a large building in each ensuite.
So this entire ensuite is not usable.
Oh, for you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, one of the things that you would notice is there is a glamour on them.
Okay, good.
That makes them look like modern
Oh,
ceramic.
that's even better.
Well, the ceramic is there, but make them look like metal and that, but are actually a form of fey wood. There is no metal within the ensuite.
Oh, that's grand. Because a cast iron clawfoot tub is one of the apparently brilliant but worst creations in the world.
I love it.
But yeah, that's what it looks like.
So as a note, for the way my detect magic would work, I would not detect the glamour over the tub unless the tub itself were magic or star metal, right? So I can only see hidden magic things, not the magic that hides it, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
Yes.
So the items themselves are not magical?
So I would not notice then.
Yes.
That's just so. And also, if there was a person who's not magical but has a glamour on them, I would not see what is underneath this. I'm only seeing hidden magical items or star metal items that are hidden. Nothing else. Just to be clear, the limitations of what I have done.
I appreciate that clarification, especially for the audience.
Oh,
Oh,
good,
in
Clawfoot
case
Tab. I just glance about.
in case the audience doesn't know, this system, the Castle Falkenstein, allows you to customize your magic. You can decide how long or how far or how big or against what it is targeted. So there's a lot of flexibility, and but the more you do, the more long it takes to do the spell. And if I wanted to do also not just magical things, I wanted also to do sort of detect glamour on people or that sort of things, and it would cost more. But since we are looking for diabolical machines, I'm just looking for magical things that are being hidden, rather than other options. Just so you know. In case you also wanted to purchase this Castle Falkenstein and then play it yourself, these are things you can do.
Yes. And they are in the supplementary book called the Comme il faut. The core book does not include how to customize spells. It just gives you the basics on how to
I
use
think it
it.
does actually.
Does it
I
give
believe
you
it
all the
does. It's
charts?
just yes, it does. It's just the charts are better in the Comme il faut because they are better organized.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. That's the one that I rely on because it is quite
Better.
yes, and streamlined with sidebars and examples from other games that have been converted into Castle Falkenstein.
Yeah, much better. But and it looks nicer, easier to find the information. The Comme il faut book is excellent. It's a wonderful book. It also talks about costuming in case you wanted to do. It's excellent. Anyways, just
All of the books in
going
the
to
series
freshen
are
up.
quite. All the good books in the series are quite grand, and you might be able to find a link to our dear friends at Arthasorian Games, where you can find all of the current books in the series.
Indeed. We are
And
at
also free downloads.
Sweets.
For
So,
for DLC stuff. Hashtag not sponsored, although
In our mind.
in our minds, of course. Moving on, each of you will find in the sitting room a carefully curated gift for proper, shall we say, a proper welcome. So that which would be most appropriate to the Fae, we find in Lady Deirdre's. We find in Lady Moreau's a number of they're minor things, but they're from the area. They're schematics of different things that have been invented in Oslo, along with a smattering of sweet treats and bath accessories.
Immediately distracted by the sweet treats in the schematics.
And for our action alchemist, there are some basic but locally sourced alchemy components that may be of use, as well as
wonderful.
The location of a club for fencing.
Oh.
And the, shall we say, what was I going with here? Oh, book of local poetry.
Oh, this is wonderful. Is it translated into German or Latin?
It is actually translated into Latin.
Oh, this is wonderful.
And they're side by side on the page. So you'll see the original next to the Latin.
Oh, it's wonderful. I make everything, this is not stereotyping, in case anybody is wondering, but I make sure I unpack everything and make sure everything is orderly and in its place, and make sure I have the present, everything is laid out and that I'm refreshed. So that I may then join the ladies for tea. and I make a quick note of thanks to our hostess, so that she will, and I take this a present for her, so having the note and make sure everything's proper in the proper way.
Yes, and each of you does have both a bureau and a wardrobe in your rooms. Lady Deirdre, what is your favorite liqueur?
I mean, there's only one. You should always have a wee dram of the good stuff.
Okay. That from across the veil shall be there.
Oof, even better.
And along with the other elements of hospitality that you would expect provided for a high fae such as yourself. They did try to customize it as much as they could for the Irish cultural aspects, but they might be a little bit off on a few details.
I'll take anything as long as it's not English.
No.
For a variety of reasons.
Any preparations such as Edelwolf had for prior to going to tea?
Well, she'll clean up a little bit. Not that it was like the dust of the road kind of things. Flying is much more present, but she's gonna fix her hair a little bit from the windblown status that it had, and she's going to spend a little bit of time straightening things up, and she's going to leave the bag in the room.
Okay.
But it's cursed, so she knows nobody's going to touch it. Little things in life. She will take the sword.
Okay.
Because even though she's been given a welcome, guest rights haven't been extended yet, and keeping the sword until that happens.
Okay.
And, it's yes, technically it's a hotel, but it's also her official residence and domain of power. So, respecting Helena's whatever going on.
Yes. And you expect that will happen at tea or whenever she is to meet you.
Exactly.
The fact that she did not meet you at the landing means that either something came up or she's just something else or she's just been irregularly busy, because that is not the most common for one fae to not extend guest rights at the moment that you arrive.
Oh yeah, that's why she's holding on to that sword. She's a little raising eyebrows at that one.
Indeed. What about Zephyrine? Obviously, the sweets.
It's obviously the sweets. Yeah, you get a pre-game tea, with some sweets. Zephyrine would get cleaned up a bit because she barely was inside the airship sitting down. She was all on top a lot and underneath, looking at all the mechanics stuff and asking questions and poking things. So she's probably got little smudges on her, a little bit of
Would you have
flyway hair.
requested a, shall we say, lady in waiting for while you stay?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Then one of the hotel staff that was with you, or that was there atop the building and greeted you, would have stayed behind until you dismiss her.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, she can help me with my hair after I wash my face. A little wash basin. I don't have time for a full bath. That'll be later this evening. So I'll just, freshen up a bit, perfume, have the lady in waiting unpack my luggage, into the wardrobe and closet, whatnot. And then, we'd probably change into something more appropriate for tea than for travel.
You don't want the smell of the what you call it, the soot of the oil and whatnot, the engines all over you.
Some people find it offensive when I show up to tea like that, and I'm trying to be polite here. So, Also, I have to look really good in the city to make others look really bad. So,
Indeed. The name of your lady that will assist you while you're here is Sophie Henning. I've added it to the
Oofy.
list of contacts in Oslo in our
Awesome.
Discord, which I can't, which I will pin if I can. If not, Deirdre, can you pin that for me? Doesn't
Yes,
look like I have the ability to.
I can do that.
But just so you don't have to remember the names. And I've also preloaded one there with the
Appreciate it.
chef as well.
Ah, yes. Oh, Petra. Petra Voss.
So,
There we go.
thank you. Anything else that you all will require?
Also, just get cleaned. She's, I think, just get her things unpacked. Tells her not to bother with the tools trunk, as that's something Zephyrin will handle herself.
Gotcha.
But all the other luggage can be unpacked while she's at
Gotcha.
tea. Tells the
Does she
lady in
have
waiting that
does she have a portable like kettle in that pack?
probably would.
Fair.
To make sure you can heat up the appropriate liquids if you need to for experimentation.
Sounds great.
Beakers and stuff, like a small little alchemy and gadgety set, because even though she's mostly a gadget or tinkerer, sometimes you need liquids in there. So
yeah, especially for things like fuel.
Exactly.
Which means you probably don't want to drink tea out of that.
No, not that kettle. It's yeah. And then we'll just tell the lady waiting she won't need her services again until after dinner, evening.
Excellent.
She can get ready after tea herself. She can just wear tea clothes.
It's a slightly more formal action alchemist outfit.
Oh yes.
You change your scarf and everything like this, but the action alchemist vibe is always there. Make sure the boots are polished, of course. You just a nice clean up, but there's a sort of a safari-esque vibe. Vibe
Excellent.
at all times.
I put on lace gloves instead of rubber gloves. Like that's I'm still all red and black though.
Nice.
Brand.
As you all prepare, when the time is ready, you will be invited to the 7th floor. It is the VIP tea room. So you'll go up one floor and be escorted into a large ish room, a little bit about the size to about twice the size of the rooms that you were provided. Large bank of windows to allow for light facing the south, and one larger table in the center for larger gatherings, and a couple smaller tables for more intimate group settings. It will be you'll be led to the larger table in the center that could seat up to 12, but currently is set up for 8, actually. Each of you will be brought to a seat. You will then have, as you sit, the Lady Erdal, Helena Erdal, will enter with a few people with her, and they will be seated at the table alongside you. One of the people who does sit after leading everyone in is Mikhail. He takes a seat next to Lady Erdal, and introductions are then made. She will introduce herself first and invoke guest rights to the three of you, as per the tradition of the Fae. If you're not familiar, it just sounds like a really flowery welcome. But for someone like Lady Deirdre, this is a very important step to inviting someone into your domain. She will then acknowledge Mikhail and say, "You have already met the head butler. He is invited to our tea to take down any special needs of note that you may have,
Oh.
as he will be in charge of following through on those. She'll then point to her right, and this is where Hannah Markin, the head of the Oslo, good Lord, Masonic Lodge. She has joined you as well. And next to her are two other folks. One is, where are we? There we are. One is Gunnar Veen. He is a local politician who is familiar with many of the different lodges and societies, and said if there's anything that happens within the city that you need assistance with, he will give each of you one of his cards. Make sure that you share this with the constabulary or any other major element, and they will extend my hospitality to you city-wise. And the last one, who looks quite the tinkerer themselves, scientific of sorts, is Oddbjorn Holt. And he himself is a very large man, stands and bows and then sits back down and introduces himself as the lead scientist of Norway, or the Minister of Science of Norway.
Oh.
I got
It's
cleaned
a
up.
pleasure to meet you.
Indeed.
Lovely to meet you all.
If you'll excuse me, Guildmaster Martin, I have a present for you. I did not realize you'd be joining us for tea. I will, perhaps I could have someone bring it down so that I could give it to you as a congratulations for your new post. And he gives the present for our hostess to one of the servers to bring it to her, because he brought that one down with him, but he did not bring down the other present, including the flowers for
Lady Markin.
Yeah, for Lady Markin, because he didn't realize she was going to be there. But he's hoping that a servant will bring them down. He looks a little embarrassed.
Mikael will summon someone over and have them go. He will hand them a key to have access to your room. You will note that the person does not actually have access to your room without the key from Mikael. And it won't take long for them to return. Anything else that you all...
So, small question here. Can I get... Remind me, GM. Can I use perception as like a human perception? Okay. Cool. So I want... It's very strange to me that we weren't greeted by this vampire that's running things here when we landed. And now we're at tea. We still haven't actually gone through guest rights. We've done tea, but those are separate things. And there are a whole bunch of humans at this gathering that are intriguing. I'm trying to get a gauge on how much power she has in her own domain.
Okay. So she extended guest rights as soon as she greeted the table.
Okay. Sorry, then I misheard something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my bad. But that was the first thing she did when she greeted the table.
Okay.
It is late, and she would have apologized for that, but not made a big deal of it.
Yeah.
In order to, shall we say, save face.
Yeah.
Amongst the mortals. So the apology was mostly for you, but try not to make a big deal of it to keep that shall we say
Yeah, it's fine. We can.
air of power. You will notice that the city official and the headmaster of the Masonic Lodge treat her as, shall we say, an equal.
Mm-hmm.
Holt, you can't get a good read on with your perception.
Can I play a card on him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. How about that? How about that, Jacques?
That'll work. And
Her
that'll be
perception
11
is good.
plus good. Okay,
Yeah.
so
6.
that's
So
a base 6, so 17. He seems to be somewhat indifferent to social like pleasantries. He's trying very hard not to be rude, but you don't know that he really understands or cares to understand some of them. Unlike Jules Verne, who is very much the socialite, this big bear of a man seems to be from a common class and a little bit out of his depth when it comes to these kinds of things. Is there anything in particular you wanted to get a read on from the guests?
just kind of get a vibe. We're here at kind of their invitation.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time...
It's also a business transaction.
Yeah, it is a business transaction. It's their invitation and it's a business transaction. I'm like, just trying to get a general vibe about, how trustworthy are they? Are they likely to stab us in the back? Is it like dealing with goddamn English again? There's a sliding scale of trust in this world.
Mr. Veen, the city official,
Politician,
seems to be very much a politician. He's going to prioritize whatever is advantageous at the moment. And currently, extending niceties to you all is important. However, his actual position within the city government is not mayor or deputy mayor. He is... he's got some convoluted title that you would probably equate to like chief operations officer in modern day corporate world. He takes care of all the nuts and bolts of things that go on in the city that the mayor and deputy mayor don't have time for. So
it might possibly be wise to consider that this perhaps gentleman might be aware of what is going on in his own city.
He actually might, because he has to. He typically takes on all the signing off of major permits, any of the big stuff that has to be sent up the ladder. It stops at his desk to not bother the mayor or deputy mayor, unless, of course, they need to be consulted.
So, after a certain point, after like the gifts have been presented and everything, she goes, so would it be possible then to get a schematic of, what do you call them, Zephrine, the documents with the layouts for the city and the...
Foot maps?
No,
the maps? No, the schematics. Oh, the blueprints.
Aye, that's the word, thank you. For the building that apparently is chock full of individuals who want to do unnecessarily and harmful things to your city.
Oh, he sort of pulls out like a little sort of rough sketch of the map and points to actually where the building is, so that he knows exactly which one. This building here. It's Lady Deirdre wished, thought it was quite wise to know who might own this building, what this building is. So one of the smokestacks.
Ah, uh, he'll take a look at your sketch, make some notes, and say, I will look into that and see what I can provide.
Yes. Um, I think is what Adelwolf wanted to do. So just have a bit of a check is to get a sense of who knows what in this crowd of people. There's a bunch of people in this crowd, and they're on a mission, and they may not know what our mission is or what is what. So going to get a bit of a sense of who people's relationship to us, like what is a feeling towards us, what might say no, just don't want to speak too much out of hand, but also maybe perhaps there's like a what you call it, a double agent or something. So just going to want to get a sort of a vibe about the people here.
Okay.
I imagine this is what would this be? What sort of would this be social graces, or would this be
social
what would this be?
graces? Could definitely work. You could also use perception if you prefer. Really, that would be up to what you think is more the tact your character would take.
I think I would go with social graces to see if someone is like going through the motions, right? Of the yeah. If that makes any sense, right? If there's someone whose social graces feel stiff or forced or that sort of a thing. So I'm going to have a +6 on this one, and I will draw flip the card. A joker is what I draw.
Oh, okay. Yes. So for everyone,
which is a 15.
Yes. The Joker is the highest points that can be earned, and it can be any suit. So
it's like a what you it's like a what you call it, critical success, as it were.
Yes.
But wait, actually, we cannot count this because I'm supposed to play from my hand, and that was not from my hand.
Oh,
pardon
true.
me. Yeah.
From the magic
So
deck?
this is no, I just made this from the fortune deck, and that's not all right.
Oh.
It's terrible, as a matter of fact. So
Stole a
social
joker
graces.
from somebody. There you
Well,
go.
it will, goes away for always. Social graces versus perception. Where's my perception? There it is. Okay. Let me look at my hand. Social graces is this one. So I play this one here. The king. So this will be 10, 11, 12, 13, plus 6 is a 19.
Excellent. That'll be a full success. And as for an actual double agent, like I would just want to get that one out of the way right from the beginning. You don't believe so, that anyone is in particular. Though you do get the same feeling that Lady Deirdre got from the from the city official, that he definitely not definitely, most likely does whatever is most advantageous. You don't know if it's for him or for the city, but he kind of just gives off that vibe when you really look at it as glad handing, very happy to accommodate, but more out of a necessity of his role than it is out of a personal pride or anything of that nature. the Minister of Science also is very, shall we say, a little uncomfortable with the circumstances, or looks a little out of place, his mannerisms, things of that nature. But you would also surmise probably has to do with coming from the more commoner classes rather than being someone that was in a higher social ranking and have more experience with these things, which might also mean that he hasn't been in the position for too long, maybe a couple of years. But yeah.
All right, thank you. I will just, having myself not coming from the noble classes, I just sort of try to make this Minister of Science and feel comfortable, sort of vibe that we are from similar backgrounds, just a very subtle sort of a thing, just to make him feel like he's not the only one here who, grew up working, as the case may be, as one might say.
He will show genuine appreciation for those kinds of niceties that are extended.
Just subtle, but just, like a, one of the small things that you can always give like a little bit of a, like a passing comment about something that is a bit more middle class than upper class, or just a gesture, that sort of a thing, just let you know, hey, you're not the only one here, that sort of a thing. It's a very small thing.
You'll notice his appreciation mostly in the way that his shoulders relax, not slovenly, like but less tension.
But just there are ways to do that. And I just sort of give a bit of a nod to Lady Deirdre, to just get a sense of like, oh, I'm feeling okay in the room, so I'm not, what I'm doing is I'm just projecting not a danger, that sort of a thing, so it's like, when you're like, if we've been working together on multiple times, and I also extend this look towards Lady Zephyrine, and it's subtle, but it was one of those things that if we were in danger, I would probably do like a little, what you call it, if I got a bad feeling about something, I would probably do something like, I would like tap my pipe on the table twice in a way that looks like I'm fidgeting or something, but as a way to let them know that, oh, hey, I've got a bad feeling or something like this. But since I don't do this, I just give this sort of a bit of a signal between us that I am feeling okay. Good. It's like a subtle check-in. It was as a team.
Indeed. You will note that during the conversation and tea that's been served, you will find that they have, Lady Erdal, Helena, has given the group, each of you, a map of the city. The gift for Lady Markin would have arrived from your room, and the key returned to Mikhail.
Thank you.
And would there have been any other requests of this group for what you are about to embark on?
My compliments to the chef. It's these tea's good. Snacks. Tea always comes with snacks.
Yeah, always.
They're very
absolutely.
good.
I think the general niceties, as a proper political things with the head of the of my guild, my sorceress of my order. Of course, hoping that I might be able to come and, assuring that I will come visit the chapter house. If there's anything needed, I'm very happy to. The sort of niceties and social obligations are done. I suppose I would ask, so please tell me, Minister, have you noticed anything strange at all in the city in the past few months at all? Like a diminution of resources, or perhaps too many resources coming in to the city through boats or some such barges. Anything out of the ordinary happening here in Oslo?
The industrial district has been busier than normal, but it hasn't. The increase in raw materials haven't solely gone to any one particular plant or warehouse. They've been stored in a variety of warehouses and sent to a number of different manufacturing plants, which is one of the reasons why we haven't been able to pinpoint the issue ourselves.
Do you know if there are underground spaces here, like tunnels or maintenance shafts or caves?
The Minister of Science will actually kind of turn to Mr. Veen and look to him and say, I am not familiar with anything that's not public record, but maybe Gunnar here is. And he will talk a little bit about things that they found when they started putting in the infrastructure for the sewage. And that there were some already existing tunnels, but most of them got commandeered during the city's, excavating. The geology here is mainly hard rock, lots of granites. There is some, there is some limestone or sandstone as it is near or it is on the coast. But because of the propensity of the granite, there's not as much as you might think when it comes to underground, naturally occurring underground. There is some fracturing, which is acts as natural drainage for the area, but no caves or anything that they were or that they found during that process.
I see. I just wanted to make sure they were not. It was possible they could have been moving supplies to a centralized location, underground network. So,
unless they're
unlikely.
accessing the sewer, probably not.
So unlikely, but theoretically possible, or an escape route.
It is possible. It would just take a lot of machinery to get through that much granite.
Yes.
Frau Martin, I have another question. This malefactor, this villain that we're worried about, what is happening is most likely some sort of technological thing, but it's entirely possible there's something mystical involved in this project. Have you noticed, or anyone in the order noticed, a diminution in the amount of sonic energy that is in the environment? Has it been more difficult? Has there been a sense of less energy in the area? Because if this is a large working, that would there'd be less energy for everyone to go about the normal business. Have you noticed such a thing, or no?
So, one of the things that tipped us off that something may be afoot is there was an occurrence about 4 or 5 weeks ago where there was a large draw on the energy in the area. As some of my more folklore inspired friends, the ley lines were very taxed. And this caused a lot of difficulty for the lodges in Oslo due to this large amount of drainage that lasted for about 3.5 days,
That
give or
is
take a few
quite
hours.
disturbing.
Yes.
Would you happen to have maps of the ley lines in the city?
Yes, we can get that for you.
That would be very helpful. Yes, thank you.
We could overlay it. We might learn something at least.
I can tell you that the largest intersection of such ley lines is located under the manor house that's in the middle of the park on the west side. It's one of the reasons that you may find, or that the growth is so lush for our northern location, as well as there is more of a fey presence in that area, as intersections of ley lines can make it a little easier for people to cross the veil.
Who owns this manor? Whose manor is this?
It's owned by the state.
I see.
It is technically one of the royals' manors.
I see. I would imagine that if there's some sort of diabolical mastermind, they're most likely trying to, if they had access to this, perhaps a smaller sort of conjunction of ley lines, of smaller lines, whatever they could get their hands on, would probably be useful, but something, I imagine all the good conjunctions have already been taken, is what I'm going to imagine. So perhaps a smaller one or one less.
Most of what Oslo has to offer with areas of magical influence has been occupied by the powers that be. Many of the lodges, the royals, or powerful, monetarily powerful individuals.
Let me ask, and perhaps our hostess might know, or anyone here, is this person of interest of ours? Yes. What is known about him in the city? Also, do any of you know of Renaud Leblanc, or perhaps also Balthasar Peters being in the area, coming to Oslo at any time recently, showing up in society, making their ways? Yes, it was Anders, yes, sort of
Yes.
nodding right to Zephyrin. Those are three people of interest we might find if they are known or have been seen in society.
The Minister of Science will speak up and say, Balthazar Peters has made a visit to the Royal Science Academy in the past few months. He stayed around for about 2.5 weeks.
Interesting.
A visiting expert from the Americas. But Renaud Leblanc has not visited Oslo to my knowledge.
If you don't mind, when exactly was this American Peters here? And did it overlap at all with the straw on the ley line energy from
it was about
4 or 5 weeks ago?
No, maybe 3 weeks prior. But he was here for 2.5 weeks, so he would have left just before, days before.
I see. And he announced himself. Did he? What were his inquiries about? Did he ask for anything? Did he want anything, or was he in the company of anyone? Did he stay at this hotel?
He did not stay at this hotel. He did stay. Well,
one moment.
he stayed with
something. Here, let me
Mr.
change something.
Anders
Don't mind.
Nordholm.
Please speak on without me. I have to change my ears.
So, Mr. Anders Nordholm actually hosted him, which is one of the reasons that he became a little more suspicious. Oftentimes, the city will put someone up, or the royals will, when a visiting expert comes through, or the universities often will step in to provide hospitality. But Mr.
So
Anders Nordholm did instead.
So we know the address of Monsieur Nordholm.
Mm-hmm. Yes, his
Could I
manner
have
is...
that?
Sure,
Maybe?
sure.
Oh, thank you so much.
So this Nordholm, this Herr Nordholm did host our Peters.
Indeed.
And just I give this that knowing look to my compatriots, like suspicious. You know, it's that sort of very dramatic lighting and camera angles. I'm like, you know, interesting. And this Anders Herr Nordholm, who does he associate with, and has there been any change in his behavior for the last 4 or 5 months, let's say?
In the last year or so, he's become much more active. For the most part, he kind of was holed up in his studies and what he was his projects, and didn't do near as much socializing as when his family first moved to Oslo and established themselves a few generations ago. But in the last year or so, he has tried to expand his personal influence using the family name.
What was the change? Was he engaged or married or get a new post? What might have accounted for this, or at least what was said or rumored or spoken about?
Gunnar Veen will kind of laugh and say, he is a scientist who is most eccentric. We just assumed that it was a new focus, or if he was interested in trying to favor curry with those who had money, or curry favor with those who had money, so he could expand his projects. There was no social event or anything in particular. He just started answering to invitations that he would normally not.
Might I ask if we had any other big guests in Oslo? For example, would perhaps, and I name the guy that's the head of the crime league, Moriarty. Would Moriarty have visited at all?
Has he been around?
We have seen no signs of Dr. Moriarty or his presence, though the World Crime League has been known to show up from time to time. We are a smaller nation with lesser power, but sometimes that doesn't make I shouldn't say sometimes, that does not exclude us from their radar, shall we say. So there have been smaller things that have gone on. There was one noble house a few years ago that had a great scandal that was traced back to them. But nothing in the most recent.
Oh, I see. All old news.
Well, sometimes the old news is the history that drives tensions. You know, people. What you say is that some people have the revenge as a cold dish, like a fish in an aspic. You know. So if there's some sort of scandal that was perhaps important for us to note, it would be much appreciated, not for gossiping purposes, but to know the lay of the land, as it were.
Mr. Veen will reply, I can look into that with some of the other city officials who take note of that and let you know if there is anything to that regard. but outside of the publicly, I guess, cataloged instances, nothing comes to mind immediately for me.
Ah, thank you for your help. And he turns to Lady Deirdre.
Who's been keeping herself mostly out of it, kind of gauging the room, the feels,
Mm-hmm.
and is just kind of collating information at this point.
Okay.
And occasionally, gauging how Lady Helena is feeling about this whole thing. Because she's been, there were certain negotiations that were supposed to be happening for her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, just seeing where the world is fallen in this moment. And playing a slightly more quiet game in front of the humans.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll notice that Lady Helena is doing very similar to you, sitting back and letting things happen. She does give you a look at one point of, we'll talk later. But doesn't really give off much for much body language of any sort of social cues. She doesn't seem to startle at anything or draw any sort of particular interest in anything that is said. She definitely seems to be trying to show herself as a go-between, as someone who knows people, not someone who knows things. Which for someone that's as long-lived as she seems out of place, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, she shouldn't be. By this point, she should be knowing things and not just people. So she's like Deirdre's made a couple of notes about that, and made a couple of notes about the politician being a politician, but also occasionally deferring to other people. That it's like, is that a good politician using your resources in a way that's most efficient for you? Or does he actually, acknowledge that there are people who are smarter than him in the room? Which is a little odd than politicians. Usually they like to pretend that they're the smartest people in the room.
If things of magical nature come up, he quickly will defer to Lady Markin. You don't know if that has to do with him acknowledging as her smarter than him, or if this is him politicking to make sure the spotlight goes on people he wants to curry favor with. The same with the Minister of Science. Anything that seems to be in that man's wheelhouse, he definitely kind of like makes a either body language wise or verbally makes a show of putting the spotlight on that person. And again, you believe that this has more to do with the gaining social power aspect of things than it has to do with power, or with him, with his belief in his own abilities. Does that help?
Yeah.
I generally try to be like a good guest, right? And just because I want to make a good impression on our order, our chapter house, on there's the whole vibe of wanting to be a good guest. We've got business to attend to, but of course one cannot just be a barbarian and only sort of speak business wise. And just trying to, generally speaking, get a sense of like what is there to do in Oslo, like what are the events, where should one be seen and be seen, like trying to get that sort of the basics that one would do to be a good member of society.
I also have a point of order question.
Yes.
What language is this meeting taking place in?
What is the most common language amongst the three of you?
Well, I would assume that French is the diplomatic language at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And
That would be their default,
yeah.
unless
Ah,
they were told
convenient.
that any
Oh
one of
no.
you was unable to speak it. Then they would try to find a common language amongst you.
Oh no, you can just speak French. That is fine with me. Oh, oh no.
Yeah, I think
I
French is the
imagine.
most common. I mean,
Yeah.
Deirdre speaks all the languages for everybody present. Because we've established
Mhm.
time in
German,
both
French.
German,
Yeah.
French, Irish, Latin.
Yes.
Mhm.
That another unfortunate language that she has to learn because of horrible
Yes.
reasons.
English.
Uh,
Yes.
but okay, so we're communicating in
enemy.
French. Sorry.
Yes.
Oh yes, wonderful, magnifique. This pleases Zephyrin.
As both, this is where Lady Helena will speak up with more of the socializing piece. And she will speak of a few different events that are going on in the next week or two, depending on how long your stay is. She doesn't seem to emphasize any one as being more important than the other. There's a festival that's happening. It's not one of the larger festivals, but it has to do with the celebration, an old tradition celebrating the bounty of the sea. There is a couple of nobles hosting some galas or just society parties that she could look into getting invitations if you all were interested in,
Yes.
but no one that seems to be overlapping with any of the circles according to her information at this point. That doesn't mean that won't change. But
Any galas where perhaps the Nordhelm might be?
I was about
Has been.
anything he has RSVP'd to.
she will look
And he just
into
smiles
that.
at Zephyrin, like, same thought.
She said she will look into that. She didn't look into the RSVPs. She looked into who was hosting and who was sponsoring,
Yes,
but not necessarily all of who was attending.
If Monsieur Nordholm is attending any of these, we would love an invitation to the same event as well.
And she will.
Or if Monsieur Verne or Monsieur Moriarty.
If Moriarty shows his face, she'll make sure that you all have information on
good,
him.
Good, yes.
And Minister Holt will be like, well, if Jules Verne was visiting, I would have definitely known, and I would have been sure to invite you, Lady Moreau.
Thank you. Yeah, big fan.
Who isn't? Right?
Yes.
Yes. On that note, let's go ahead and move to break. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a short break. I hope everyone is ready, stretch, refresh, bio, do all of those good things. And we will see you in just a little bit, everybody. Bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We hope you're ready to dive into the second half of tonight's Truly Madly Falkenstein with our wonderfully fine host who is in the wrong location, but I can fix that. There we go. Now everybody's in the right place. For a brief moment, you were Adolf. It's fine. But now,
It was an out-of-body experience.
very much so. But take it away, host with the most.
Welcome back, and we find ourselves post-tea time. You all have had a moment to refresh and decide on, or to come together to decide on your next steps. Within an hour or so, the blueprints that were requested will arrive,
And
as
also
well
the ley lines?
as of the building in question, and then the map of the ley lines as well, from the lodge, the Masonic Lodge, as well as invitations for each of you to a gala hosted by the Mickelson family. It's a minor noble family, but that seems to be the family or the gala that Anders is attending of the two they know of. The other gala is put on by the Royal Society, and he has not RSVP'd at this time, you will be told. But the Mickelson Gala is in 1 week from today. And if you are still here, you have invitations.
Fantastic.
Did we
Thank you
learn
very
what that
much.
building is? Like what it is,
yes.
who owns it?
So the company that owns it is the Twin Springs Corporation, who it seems to be some sort of what we would call in modern times a shell corporation. Its listed owner is Anders' grandfather. But Anders' grandfather has not been actively a part of any sort of business since he retired 10 years ago.
Is the gentleman still alive?
As far as anyone knows, yes.
When was he last seen in public?
His last social appearance was 2 years after his retirement.
So 8 years ago.
So 8 years ago, yep.
And theoretically, what is the Twin Springs Corporation do?
They seem to be an investment company. They buy other companies or buildings or whatever, and they turn a profit by selling them at a later date.
Just a question. This building, the sus building, I like to call it, it looks like a factory. Yeah.
Yes.
So, what do they say this building is, considering that they are a investment firm? I'm just curious, you know.
It's listed as a general manufacturing plant.
Which manufactures widgets then?
Apparently so. It has blueprints that are on file. You will have gotten 2 sets of blueprints. The original blueprints from the previous owners, as well as the blueprints listed by this company, which are much smaller in scope than the originals. And a note from Gunnar Veen that until you brought up the suspiciousness of it, he had never compared the two. But because of your suspicions, he went back to the previous owners. That was filed probably about 15 years ago now. The acquisition was only a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
And so he went back to the older ones that were put on file after a renovation by the previous owners. And he noticed the discrepancies himself and made sure to send both along.
So
it's much larger in its footprint as well as in its height.
So these original blueprints were filed about 15 years ago. Is that right? And
yes, after a renovation by the previous owners.
And this building was acquired about 2 years ago, and
yes.
they filed their blueprints when?
At the time of acquisition, for tax purposes.
Yeah. Yeah. There is a discrepancy here. And how does this building relate to the ley lines of the city?
There doesn't seem to be a direct correlation of any intersections, though it does sit along one of the stronger ley lines that's in part of that part of the city, which is still minor compared to the ones that the lodges and such are on. But it is directly on a ley line, not adjacent to one.
Okay.
One of the larger ley lines.
In that part of the city. Because you know how they kind of trickle off as tributaries?
Yeah.
This would be less of a tributary and more of a small river. If you're looking at a map that
just enough to not
water.
be suspicious, but enough to get some juice.
Exactly. If it was one of the smaller tributaries, it wouldn't be enough to do anything major or to tap into for anything major. It would just be a nice bonus. But this would would give them enough access to tap into the ley line if needed.
I see. Could I get a newspaper of the city, the daily newspaper? Do you mind? I would like to get one every day that I'm here. If that's all right. I say to one of the butlers.
Yes, and they will go ahead and get you one and let you know that they have let Mikhail know that you wish to have one each day, that you are here.
Thank you.
And that will be arranged.
And while this is happening, I'm going to just kind of leaf through the newspaper just to see if there's anything out of the ordinary, looking for Twin Springs, for our usual suspects, or just anything, it's like a perusing to see what might be interesting in the news while we are plotting, as it were. It's more of like a chill. And if there's anything interesting that would be relevant to any of my compatriots, I will of course hand the newspaper over as well, just as a way to sort of get to know the city and know what might be important,
For randomizing this, I'm going to take out a deck of cards and I'm going to cut it randomly. Hearts are definite yes. Diamonds are a maybe yes. Clubs are a maybe no. And spades are a definite no. With this particular issue of the newspaper, not ever. And we have, if that shows.
Nothing today.
Nothing today.
Okay. And I'll just do that every day. I'll just do a little quick perusal of the newspaper to get to know the city and see if there's anything suspicious. So, what all are you thinking?
Do you want to start with the factory? Or do you want to start with Anders' mansion?
I think the best thing we can do, once we have the paperwork, as we can determine, is if we can indeed get inside that factory. Also, if there are any urchins. Urchins are very useful.
I'll take your word for it.
Shall we take a promenade then? Or would you like to
Oh,
wait until a little
yes.
bit later?
After tea, we could promenade after tea is a good idea, I think. And perhaps we will pass by through one of the lovely parks in the city on the way, get some fresh air.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some people will be out walking their dogs. We could
The
get one
hotel
of
is
them.
located on the west side, just south of the largest
Oh,
park.
nice, nice.
Ah, yeah. Let us take this promenade together, and we can see what we can see.
Okay.
While we are on this promenade, GM, I'm keeping my eye out for dog poop.
Okay.
Yep.
And I
And
still
don't
have
say
my
anything
spell
to
up.
anybody else, but
Oh, uh-huh. I still have my spell up, so if there are any magical or star iron items that are being hidden, um, I will be able to see through that hiding, as it were,
Mhm.
as we promenade.
I'm looking for urchins
Okay.
because they're going to have the most relevant information at the moment.
yeah, I'm
That
gonna be looking for
or
urchins after I find dog poop.
that's fair. I
Yeah.
entirely fair, entirely understand. And pixies,
Pixies. Okay. Um,
but that's more of
as you
a
start,
kind of put a pin in it, know
Mhm.
who's who, kind introduce myself around kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Fair. As you start out, coincidentally enough, a young boy
Mm-hmm.
um, looking of the streets approaches you, so specifically you, Lady Deirdre,
Mm.
and says, "Excuse me, ma'am, can you spare a coin?"
Possibly. What's the name I'm going for this coin? As she pulls one out and starts flowing it through her fingers.
You can call me Hans.
Hans it is. So, Hans, British, in the jar. We can start with this, and she's pulling a silver coin in one hand, and then she'll flick it, and it'll be a gold one going through the other. Quick question for you, Hans.
Mm.
If I was to be looking for some enterprising young gentleman, some as yourself, with perhaps a slightly better in knowing of individuals in this city, would I be talking to the right kind of person?
With that level of generosity, you're talking to the right kind of person.
I figured. His name Anders. His name is Anders.
Mhm.
Fuck Anders.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anders. Yes.
I was like, it's not Adelwolf. Adelwolf is not who I want information about.
Nope.
Anders. There's a charming.
Perhaps he wants information about him. I don't know.
No, she knows way too much about you already. And any of the information that she doesn't have, she doesn't want to know. There's an amount of information your godmother doesn't want to know. Trooper's face is just a journey right now. It's great. I love it. But not Adelwolf. Anders Nord, right?
Nordholm.
Nordholm. Yep. Anders Nordholm. He been hiring lots of folks recently, or firing them.
He's not the easiest man to work for.
Ha. Larger
I'm
numbers.
like standing in the background nodding. Like, yeah.
And of all those kind individuals who are no longer gainfully employed, why, Mr. Nulltorm, are they still yet among the breathing?
Most.
Aye, but who's not?
Those who fell accident in the plant.
Accident or accident?
Between you and me, my lady,
Always.
I suspect it was no accident.
You wouldn't be happen to know where the back door to that place would be now, would you?
I might. And if not me, someone I know might.
Can you get me in the back door?
He'll look at the gold coin, look at you, and say, I can make arrangements.
Grand. And she'll flick the gold coin and then flick towards him and then twist the silver one in her fingers a little bit more. It's like, and if you're perhaps considering, she'll add the silver to it. It's like, any other interesting tidbits I'd be happy to hear. Always like to know what's going on in a city I'm in. Possibly.
I will make sure that you are the first to know while you stay here.
Always glad to be at the top of the list. You're a fine, enterprising young gentleman.
He'll kind of nod his head. And you notice he's speaking French. It's with an accent, but he's speaking French.
Is there a school you want to go to, Hans, to get out of this place?
I don't know him the schooling type, ma'am, but I appreciate the offer.
We might reconsider that. I might have a school that you'd really enjoy. It involves a lot more stabbing and occasionally liberating that which is left behind by other folks.
If our business is as good as this, I may take you up on that.
Have yourself a grand day, sir. And she'll give him just that light level of that Bob level curtsy kind of thing that you would to someone of status.
You will bow in the way that, young kids do that's a little bit more than they really need to.
Yeah.
Because they're trying really hard. And then he'll scamper off, and as he leaves, he'll say, thank Lady Erdholm for me. Or not Erdholm. Goodness gracious.
Erdholm is the
Erdal.
Erdhall.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is the vampire.
Yeah.
Thank Lady Erdal for me.
Oh, happy to. And then she'll turn back to the two of them she's resting her hands like she's holding, and it looks just a little off, but for Adelwulf and Zephrine, but everyone else would just see she's holding a parasol in her hands, closed. But that parasol is totally not a parasol.
Yep. Noted.
So, I take it we have a backdoor entry into the place.
That's
Very
wonderful.
good.
That's excellent. So, I imagine we should probably then mosey, make a bit of a walk around, a promenade, just see what is there, and then perhaps after the, what do you call it, after the business day is done, we might mosey, promenade back the way we came, and perhaps we look at this building a bit more closely, if you catch my drift.
All right, this sounds grand.
It's a bit of a walk, as it's the opposite side of the city from the hotel, but you could definitely take a taxi if you wish. I don't know that Lady Zephrine would be as interested in that long of a walk.
Oh, it'd be fine. I would make do. Have to be prepared to, do things for the sake of doing good.
And she'll reach Tertra just reach over and pat Zephrine's hand. So it's just a wee stretch of the legs. It's good for your constitution.
Yes, oui.
And
I'm keeping my eye out. Especially after all the streets. Oh yeah, for sure. That's Zephrine could use a stroll.
the goal is to just like take a walk by it to like surveil, and then come back to infiltrate after the business shuts down, basically.
Yeah.
Right, just like
Mm-hmm.
just
Yes.
checking out the city,
And
see if there's anybody else checking out people checking us out,
Mhm.
checking out, as the case may be.
I'm keeping my eyes out for dogs.
Hmm.
Oh yes, did she find any poop?
She will have, as you go past part of the park, as you're headed towards Carl
Nice.
Johans
Yes.
Road, which is the main thoroughfare through the
Mm-hmm.
city, and will lead directly to the train station. You can then take some of the. You'll have to veer north to get across and around
Mm-hmm.
the tracks, as there are no real walking paths
Yes.
through the train yards. There are access points, but you're going to be walking not on
Nonchalantly.
pavement of
Yeah.
any sort. So, but yeah, you will definitely run across some as you walk through the parks that are along the way.
Yes, I've got a paper bag.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And as you cross through a section of that large park, you, Lady Deirdre, you will notice the presence of pixies. Not them themselves, but different things that mark their presence within the more vegetative, more fauna related areas.
Yeah, just keeping an eye out. Those good things. Makes notes. That's it.
The main thoroughfare has large numbers of businesses and things of that ilk throughout it. As you get toward the center, you'll notice to the north there is a large, like, marketplace flanked by the official city buildings. And then there's another marketplace just before or at the edge of the train station that is filled with different stalls and such that you will encounter as you have to head north to skirt the train or make your way through the train yards to get around to the Soringen section. Is there anything in particular you'd like to look for as you make your way?
Deirdre would be taking, like, as we go through the stalls of the market, just a little, keeping an eye, like, looking like you're browsing kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll stop for some sort of street food that smells good.
Okay.
Whatever sort of street food it is.
There's a variety of vendors. You'll find a variety of fish-related street foods, including kind of like a kebab of sorts. Surprisingly enough, it's got citrus on the kebab with the fish. The skin is still on in order for the kebab to hold it, like on one side of what's been filleted and cut. But it seems like they've added some citrus in order to, like someone will put lemon on their fish. It's kind of like a convenient way to do that. But it's been lightly roasted and slightly candied because of that.
I'm here for it.
Adolf has still got his vision up as it stays all day, and he's looking to see if there's any star metal or magical things that are being hidden.
One of the things that you did notice near the palace in the large park on the west side is that there are street lamps that they look like normal oil street lamps, but they are actually magical magical pillars that give off light instead.
Hmm.
And so it's kind of like it's magic used to let them blend in with what would be a normal occurrence in an 1800s, late 1800s city. But they are definitely not oil lamps.
Could I ask a question about this?
Mm-hmm.
So these are magical streetlights, but they are glamored to make it look like they are not magical streetlights.
Correct.
Why would this? Is there? As we've been in the city and walking about, are there any open magical things? So, does it? Can you say, look, this is a magical thing, or all the magical things made to look like not magical things? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, if they're mundane and they've been enhanced magically in some way, they are then illusions have been cast on them to make them look mundane. Anything that would be clearly magical, no matter what, would not be hidden for whatever reason. They've decided to do that. So, like, one of the fountains that you pass is very ornate and it has moving parts and it's made to look mechanical, but it's really magical in nature.
Before I say something out loud, let me ask, is this normal? In the places that I have been so far, is this a normal thing that people camouflage their sort of daily magic in the city? By the way, this would have been done by the city itself, I imagine, yes? So is this a normal thing, or does this strike me as odd?
It is probably less common, but the cities that are more that embrace magic more, that are a little bit more open about the lodges rather than secretive of them, do not use this. Those that their lodges have other fronts, usually charitable fronts, or social fronts, like Oslo, have a tendency to be a little bit more humble in how much magic is going on.
Let me ask so. They could have made these things mundanely. They could have made them with mechanics or with gas, but they did not. They did make them with magic instead. So if I'm going to think about the various places that I've been, and of course, Lady Deirdre has seen more places, I imagine there are cities where these are just gas lights, yeah?
Yes.
And not magical at all. And there are places where they're magical, but you know it. And there are places where people with magical abilities spend extra energy to make them magical, but to hide them from being magical. So the question I would ask is, what does this say about the city that they have the magic, they use the magic for mundane things, but they also hide them, rather than not using them for mundane things? You know what I'm saying?
It could be a few things. One that pops up as you actually make your way into more of the common areas, you'll find that the magical things don't exist, that they are the mundane things. And it might be an attempt to, I guess, hide the classism of it such.
I see. I see. So in the richer places, we're getting this magic made, but then obscured. But in the poor places, they don't have the magic things.
Yeah, or the largest business areas, the ones that bring in the most money, also have those as well. So it may not be about status necessarily. It may be about economics.
But hiding the discrepancies.
Yes.
And as we move towards a place that is less wealthy, I will say, just to my compatriots, did you notice that there's the street lights where we were first started were magic but glamored to make it seem not so. But now that in this neighborhood there are no magical street lamps disguised as not magical street lamps, are only non-magical street lamps.
It's a very good point. Hmm. I had not noticed.
I imagine there's some interesting things about city contracting happening here in Oslo.
Probably,
Extremely.
probably.
And the other thing I was looking at was to see if anybody was taking too much notice of us. Was the other thing I was looking at as we were
Yes.
walking.
Not in the main thoroughfare.
Good.
You don't seem that out of place. Zephyrin might seem a little bit more dressed up than some of the average, but she's not out of place, as there are others of noble heritage that are walking the business sections, looking, window shopping, things of that nature. Just not as many. So you'll find that doesn't draw much attention. You do start to draw more attention the further away you get from the main section of the city and into the more working class residential areas and closer to the train yards. People will give you a look, but people don't seem to be like staring. It's more like they notice you, but they're not going to risk confronting you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
We don't notice any sort of suspicious persons following us about, which is the important thing.
Not at this time. One thing that does kind of stand out as you start to get away from where most of the traffic is, foot traffic is occasionally it's different people each time, but there is a young person that kind of pops up for a little while, follows you for a few steps, few blocks, then turns off down an alleyway or into a building. They're all about that same age range, 8 to 12-ish. Probably should be in school if they were in a place like Amsterdam that has public primary schools. But yeah.
I just sort of think, I think your friends, just under my breath, leading towards Lady Deirdre, I think your friends might be watching out for us.
Oh, yes. I think they are as well. But, and she'll kind of like consider and take that moment as like, and she'll kind of like gesture and put her hand on Adalwulf's arms, like, but maybe you should take this opportunity to find something a little more appropriate for a grand gala.
Oh, are we abandoning our book?
And she kind of like raises an eyebrow. It's like, no, but we're talking through things. If you're going to a gala, we need to get you some better suits.
I don't know about this new suit. I don't like the stores around here, so I mean, they seem too fancy. I'd like to go somewhere perhaps less fancy.
It is a gala. It is supposed to be fancy.
And
Yeah,
preferably
but,
something without, and she'll like reach up to like your collar where there's like a little singe mark from one of your explosions.
Yeah.
And it's just like, perhaps something a little bit less burnt marked.
Well, look, if they're going to go find me some things, then I'd rather go somewhere, well, a bit more industrial, because I bet have better fabrics. Rather than like fancy fabrics, I think I want something that might be able to withstand a little bit of explosions.
Why are you plotting for
see, all of these
explosions in your dress and outfits?
Because there might always be explosions at any moment. You have to be prepared for this, for the explosions. He sort of looks. That place looks. He sort of points to where the factory is. Right. I bet we can find better, more robust sorts of things that way. This place is all too flimsy.
We're going to get you a good tailor, though.
All right, tailor's fine, but look, sometimes things explode. So if I could get a nice jacket that could withstand a little bit of explosion, I'd feel much better. I'd feel more comfortable. If I must.
Let us see. Let us see. All right. Well, we're definitely getting you something better that doesn't singed marked or exploded.
Look, sometimes things explode. Let's try
This is
way.
true. Sometimes things do explode, which is why you have certain clothes for the lab and certain clothes for not the lab.
But all of the world is a lab at any moment. And he's like, this way, I guess.
I did not believe we were in the lab at tea.
Yes, but the thing is, as he leads us towards the factory, right?
Just looking like,
It's like, yes, but the thing about tea is that tea sometimes has very interesting alchemical properties. And depending on what you do with them, they might also explode.
Tea. We're not exploding tea.
Yeah, but it could happen.
Nope.
And so you want to be...
Nope.
I know it's called the gunpowder tea, but it's not because it has any explosive properties.
But you could make it explosive. That's all I'm saying. If you work hard enough, everything can be explosive.
And this is why you're not married yet, Althewolf.
Yeah, but... I reject these flimsy clothes. I want to go this way. Maybe I can get a good hat. And just sort of complaining about quality of fabrics and so forth will get us a reason out loud to head towards the industrial area where our factory might be.
You'll make your way along the city streets and veer a bit north to one of the bridges that crosses the river that separates the main part of the city from the train yards themselves, the station being on the city side and the train yard being on the opposite bank. And as you make your way through, there is a smaller district that has some mostly residential, but has some businesses mixed in throughout it. As you make your way south from across the train yard and down to the Sorgen area of the industrial district. No seamstresses or tailors to speak of. They're mostly general goods or pubs, as it were.
Is there a pub with good music coming out of it?
Oh, definitely. Very folksy, but good music.
Folksy's good. As we continue walking towards where we're going, she's going to keep an eye out.
If I don't find a good tailor, we'll have to go and, what's the word, comb the entire district for. I'm sure there must be a tailor here somewhere.
We're
He
not
sort of just says to like...
The last time you started combing something, you had people combing the desert for weeks on end.
Well,
and
yeah.
Really big
they're
comb.
still combing that desert.
Well, did you know what's interesting about combing things? Sometimes it builds up the static electricity. Zephyrin told me about this, which sometimes can lead to explosions.
The two of you with the explosions. You know, sometimes a good blade is just faster.
No, not everything needs the explosion.
Just some things.
Some things are good to have an explosion.
Yeah.
Little oomph behind it, but other things, just electricity, you'll be fine.
That's more of a zap than explosion, but
yes,
still
I do
also
like a good zap.
It still singes the clothing. As people are working.
This explains so much about both your dating lives.
This is literally what Yes.
Yeah.
I think I know.
What's dating life?
I think I know exactly who I need to introduce y'all to. That'll be fun for me, at least. I do think, however, it would be wisely appropriate if we keep, you consider perhaps not exploding things when we're talking about them. And she says that she's kind of drifting slightly towards
I'm
whatever
not the one who
bars.
brought up explosions. It's like we go in and
She doesn't want to go into the bar. She just kind of like wants to walk by and pickpocket a bottle off of whatever drunk's standing in the doorway.
Okay. Give
Just
me
because
a stealth check.
I'm being distracting, by the way. I think both Zephyrin and I are being distracting with our discussions
Probably,
of
yeah.
the appropriate clothing one needs to be able to dance and also withstand electric shocks and explosions.
Okay, so can I just rather
burn
than
it's not like we're going to be dancing on the rug in socks, please. There will not be many sex.
You only need to reach a 5
Oh, okay. Well, in that case,
because
can.
they are drunk and you have a distraction, at your hand.
All right, then I will play this off suit but correct color. Spade. And
Okay.
and my base is 4, so that gives me a 6.
Okay. That will be more than enough to.
Right? No, it's half. So it's 4 plus 5.
Yeah, it's half.
4 plus 5 is 9.
9. Okay. So it's not quite a full success, or no, not a crit success, but it is a full success. You will be out of the area, the immediate area, before they recognize that you happen to have taken off with the bottle that they were drinking from. It is a Russian vodka that's been imported.
Perfectly fine. She's holding on to it because she doesn't trust the two of them to explode it yet. It can happen later. But she just shifts it and it disappears because glamour is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she
Gotta love glamour.
Gotta love glamour. Well, and then she's gonna be looking around for the urchin who agreed to give Hans, who agreed to arrange an introduction to get us in the back door.
Mm-hmm. As you make your way to that particular building, you'll find it without too much trouble, especially because Adalwolf has his spell up that makes it stand out amongst the other buildings, even from a distance. And as you find your way to the rear entrance, the loading docks, as it were, well, that's actually more the main entrance of a place like this, wouldn't it be? So this would be more the administrative and where fewer people would go in and out. You will find a young girl, maybe 9, who bows her head and says, "I am Frida. Hans sent me."
Frida, darling. A pleasure.
How long do you need?
Oh, I just need you to open the door, darling. I can take care of anything else for myself. Is there anybody in particular you would like me to assure does not continue breathing?
No, ma'am, but that is very kind of you.
Well, all right. Is there anybody I'm supposed to make sure keeps breathing?
My mother does work here, but she's already headed home for the day.
All right, then. So no one we need to be really concerned about if perhaps the whole building was to explode. These two like to blow things up, you know.
No, though You might want a distraction that gets the any of the cleaning crew out of here, because they're just regular folk.
How twitchy are they?
Not really too twitchy, but they do like a good drink.
Get the door open and have yourself on home. Wouldn't want your mother to be worrying about you.
Much appreciated. She'll fiddle with the lock mechanism. She pulls out a bobby pin from her hair, or a pin from her hair, and fiddles with it a little bit. You hear clicks, and then she slides it in along the gap between the door and the door frame, and you'll see her struggle to pull it upwards, but she gets it high enough that she undoes the bar and opens it.
Deirdre will flick like a tenner at her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not like the same level of gold coin she gave Hans, but tipping the actual person doing the actual work. And simultaneously, her personal card, which is just a shamrock and a pair of fairy wings with a the phrase on the back says, "Mother, may I?"
Okay.
Which is,
She will gratefully take them both.
if you need anything, darling, you'll know where to find me. And she kind of is like, you might be wanting to get out, start running now, my dear.
She takes her leave without another word. And one second.
And she'll like turn to look at Zephyrin and Adalwolf and go, so.
Unless you all have perception at a decent, I would say, higher than excellent, or at excellent or higher, she will literally just like walk into a shadow and disappear.
Yeah, so
nice.
Yeah, I'm not actually looking at her beyond the sense that she left, right? Like that's all I'm, because we're about to make a big mess. I'm making sure that the little person is not in the way of the big mess that I'm going to let these two make. It's like, could you give me 5 minutes to get the cleaning crew out, and then you can make as big a boom as you want, the two of you.
I don't want to explode anything here. I mean, this is kind of preliminary just to see what's here.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to explode anything. I mean, if it happens.
I'd much rather sabotage than make a big noisy thing with an explosion. Quietly sabotage.
First mission is subtle.
Want to be a little discreet in the first mission, no?
Yeah. Exactly.
Everything's always better when you plan your explosions. You guys go, the two of you, always with the impulsive explosions.
It has to be a bit...
you have to know what's there to explode. You can't just blindly throw in dynamite someplace. That is stupid.
I wasn't planning on doing dynamite. Anyways, I'll get the crew out and you
I'm
can
just
go have...
saying, it's like an example. I'm not going to explode anything. Just to know what is there and how much we need of explosives. We don't have them all on us right now.
Yeah, genau. And also, we were told if we could sort of make it so that it settles so that it blows up in their faces. Explosion. And also, you know, it's a word... humiliates them so that they will lose the face.
Put a wrench in their works. Yes, they were like, why is this machinery not working all of a sudden? It was working fine yesterday.
Yeah. And if we can make them lose face just in a normal way, that's good. If they have to lose face because it has been exploded off of them, that sometimes happens. But first face first.
All right, then. Can we hear the cleaning crew?
Yeah, you'll pick up on just most of them are like humming or singing to themselves. They're not trying to be quiet. They're doing right now. They're mostly mopping floors
Mm-hmm.
and seem to be relegated to the second floor, or not
So
second floor, first floor.
first floor.
Sorry.
So Deirdre's gonna walk in and just kind of like gesture for the two behind her, and as she does, like the step changes and her dress, which is just like a very sedate kind of green walking suit, visibly changes to like a lot more long and slightly ethereal, kind of giving the impression of perhaps a lady in white.
Okay.
And I'm going to play this 10 of clubs to use the kindred powers, her kindred powers, to basically allure everyone in this building to get out, that they don't want to be here.
Let me see how perceptive they are.
Yeah, and that's excellent. So it's an 18.
So they are not perceptive enough to know that this is a ruse, but they are definitely perceptive enough to pick up on the fact that your form is there.
Oh, I didn't mean ethereal in the incorporeal sense, but in the appearing to look like what people think of as ghost.
Oh no, I got that.
Okay.
But like,
sorry, I was not.
I
using
wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure that they weren't either keen enough to be able to see through the glamour, or that they were not so out of it that they were not able to even notice your presence. Because they might have been so into what they were doing. But a 7's enough for them to at least have figured out that you were there and fallen for the ploy completely. Which will actually be enough to double, which is considered a critical success. So make sure you mark that. For our audience, anytime a critical success is achieved, which is 200% of the target number, which in this case was 7, you basically mark it down, and once you get 8 of those, your power or your skill goes up a level. So Deirdre is now 1/8 to increasing this particular skill. All right. And they don't make a huge fuss. You'll see it's not like they scream and run, but they all kind of give a look of, what the fuck is that? I ain't messing with that. And they kind of just put their stuff down and shuffle out as quickly as possible, hoping not to be noticed, and not even looking back to see if they are. But
have yourselves a pleasant night. And then she'll just kind of turn and let the glamour fade, and go, go have fun. Find whatever thing that you want.
I'm going to frolic through the factory and figure out what all the machinery is for.
I will, of course, accompany you. Hopefully, we might see something suspicious.
I have a really good tinkering card. I would love to use it to figure out machinery purposes.
And, you know, checking everything, boldly strides along with Zephyrine towards having, we've looked at the blueprints, both versions, seeing where they're like heading towards those parts of the map that are not in the new versions of the blueprints, because that is presumably where they might be hiding some things they don't want people to know.
So the biggest thing that was changed was the scope and size. So it's the same number of floors, 2 floors, except each floor, instead of being about 10 feet tall, are more like 15 feet for each story, which gives them a lot more space to work with. You'll notice the second floor is primarily for hand finishing of things. There are cranes that can bring pieces up to that floor and then lower them back down to the first floor, as there are gaps for such transportation. to each station or each station area where there are multiple stations. The
Do we have a
main
hidden floor?
there is not a hidden floor. It's like everything's there, but different, if that makes sense. You'll find multiple furnaces instead of one primary furnace, as what was in the new version of it. And the administrative area has 2 extra offices that were not included. So I guess they're technically hidden rooms, but it's still the same like place. There's just 2 additional rooms there, which seem to have been added since the first one, if that makes sense. So like these were actual add-ons by Nordholm, not that have come later. In one of them, you will find a wide variety of schematics. This seems to be where he keeps most of his projects. Many of them are unfinished, but predominantly on one wall is the schematic of this machine, this infernal machine.
Is there anything that is invisible, or any sort of star metal or magical items that are being made to look some other way, or not to be seen at all in this
There
place?
is the fountain pen and inkwell seems to be magical and to be obscured as such.
And I say, Lady Deirdre, that fountain pen is magical, but deceptively made to not look so. Perhaps this might be of interest to you.
It is made from one solid piece of crystal.
Oh, well, that's intriguing. And is it glamoured or ensorcelled to appear?
It's ensorcelled. Yeah. So it looks non-magical to you, to your eye, but has been pointed out by the sorcerer as being other than. I added the crystal piece as a detail that I'm sure Adolwolf would have been quick to tell you, so it was not metal.
Yeah. But also, minerals. He's got all this sort of alchemical thoughts in his mind, but,
I think
he points it out.
Adolwolf, darling, I believe that's something for more of your association than for me. I don't do magic the way that you all do.
No, but I thought that...
it's not glamoured, it's ensorcelled.
Well, yeah, but... I mean, it's just that you know people so well, and you have been around so long. I thought that... I'm not asking what it does. I thought this is a sort of some personality sort of a thing.
Well, it's very wealthy, and and she picks it up and at the same time pulls a pen from her handbag and puts it down, and as she does so, the pen that she puts down now visually matches what she...
Yes.
With the one she picked up. It's not going to last forever, because glamour.
Yeah.
But...
Good enough.
Enough for us to take it with us if we wanted it.
Zephyrine, those schematics, they seem like...
yeah, Zephyrine is already... She's gone. She's by the schematics. She's over machinery. She is... Yeah.
Zephyrine,
she's like, magic, Yes.
Zephyrine, darling, don't forget to make sure your hair doesn't get caught in any of the machinery.
She's already got it tied up. It's already up in a terrible, terrible bun. It's not aesthetic at all, but it is functional.
It's an important part.
Yep. Just up and ready.
So, would you like to play a tinkering card?
I would! Give me. I got this one.
Or cards.
Do it.
Flip. I only have one. But I play it and it's real good and I have a +10.
Excellent. So that's a 23.
Give me.
That is a full success.
I was like, I need to
yeah.
play this one before the
Yes.
session ends.
And you'll be able to not only identify how it's created, but you'll be able to identify that multiple people have worked on this.
Oh.
That this schematic is not all of one inventor or one author, so to speak. There are different techniques involved, including which would be some sorceress tinkering as well.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Some magitech, if you will. A lot of that has to do with the combustion engine that it uses.
Okay. Okay.
And
is
instead
this
of
the
a
ice
steam
cap
engine,
melter?
yes, this is the ice cap
Okay.
melter.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like, we broke into here and it's not the thing we're looking
no.
for.
This is the infernal machine.
Okay, good. Yes, look at all them schematics then. Yeah, study that.
You will be able to, because this is like a big wall hanging that kind of has different layers all on it.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's for quick reference. You'll be able to commit to memory most of it.
I'm just like making like as best a copy as I can on the fly.
Yes.
Oh, and then that's how they connect to the thing. I see. Okay. Yes, this makes sense.
If you take a decent amount of time, you'll be able to understand all of the workings of it without failure.
I would love to do that.
Okay.
How big is
Zephyrine
this
is lost
machine,
in
Zephyrine?
schematics.
She's
What are you
definitely lost
doing?
in schematics. She's lost in schematics till she's done, or I'll pull her out.
How big is this machine, Zephyrine?
Oh, it is huge. It's got the infernal engine here. It's got the machine here, and then you see this point here connects this way. Which is an interesting choice of routing. I don't know if I would have gone with that myself personally, but it works.
But I meant how large would it be in this? Do you think it would fit in? If I know how large it is, we can look for it. If it is here or somewhere else, if it's quite small, then perhaps it can be in the estate. If it's not here,
I'm assuming it's being assembled in separate parts. They may not all be here.
Correct. You would think, based on the schematics and the different references to size that are on there for scale, that this is about the size of a small shop, including the second story where people live in, the residential story. So it is quite
It's like the size of your house at the roof.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, not small.
So from this description, it could fit in this building, but if it did, we would know. Yes.
Correct. It would have been prominent if it was in this building.
Are there any components of it in this building, like ready to be shipped off or sent to elsewhere, or being assembled or built that I could fuck with?
You would be able to, after studying it, which would get I would say 20 to 30 minutes if you want to have a really good handle on it.
I do want to have a good handle on it. Yeah. We're after hours. It should be fine.
I'm acting as the lookout for this situation.
Okay,
I fully, there is nothing metal that I want to get involved in, and I'm going to let the nerds do everything. I'm going to let them do that, and I'm just going to stand back and be the bodyguard with a big ass sword.
That's fair. You'll notice most of the second floor has metal flooring. So you probably would want to stay away from that area. The first floor is almost all concrete. The machines, of course, are metal, but the flooring itself is almost all concrete. You see machinery that would have built parts,
but no actual parts here.
But no, well, there's a few cast-offs, but you can tell real quickly that there were errors made and are not.
So they're not going to be used. Yeah. Right. It looks like they actually have no current components here. Nothing to sabotage.
But you are sure that they do not have the machines to create all the parts in this one building.
There will be a second building. See this
Or
part here?
multiples.
This part here? And this one here?
Yeah.
And this one over here? Yes, these lists basically
yeah.
are making a list. They don't have the machinery to make these things here, so they will be elsewheres. Perhaps they're not here. It doesn't look like anything. I don't know what they've already manufactured. They're obviously still coming in here to work every day since there was a cleaning crew here.
I do have an idea about that, but first, let me look. You said this place was sorceress. This area here. This is
yes,
the
this one right
schematics.
here. Yes, you look at this part of the schematic. I'm going to look and see what machinery is currently in use and see if I can sabotage it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's I don't know how long it'll take me to see this, but you know what is always very important in these sort of moments. Payroll. There's got to be accounts. If we could find out who's been paid and who's not yet been paid, we might be able to discern from there what is left to do and what has been done or such things, and perhaps even addresses. But let me look at this schematics.
Okay. As you look over the schematics, you'll find they're using not necessarily a rhyme engine, but they're using similar concepts. There's no star metal involved, which is why it's not a rhyme engine. But they're using similar concepts to use the magic to control the combustion elements and to funnel them to move different parts of it. There's a larger section that seems to be what is creating the energy for this heat ray. The smaller ones seem to be functioning to make this work. Some of them has to do with aiming or trajectory, those kinds of movements. Think of it like a cannon almost, a turret of sorts. The main combustion engine seems to be generating the energy that will be used for the heat ray itself.
How hot does the heat ray get?
There's no real indication, but hot enough to melt the ice caps.
Amateurs, they do not even know how hot it will get. I'm writing it down.
This is a elemental sort of magic and so forth. Which sort of this our good friends, the Balthazar Paters, would the American Freemasons have the sort of law books and such for this sort of works?
Maybe, but you wouldn't put it past them to
steal
obtain
something?
or steal necessary lore books.
That would be criminal, though.
They wouldn't put it past their members. They would never admit to it as a society.
It is the World Crime League after all. Yeah. Yes. I'm going to look for this, looking over this, the magical parts for weak points or components that are also at Zephyrin, which of these components are the most important for the workings, like linchpins, as it were?
Probably these couple right here.
All right. I make little notes in my little notebook. All of the most crucial parts of the machine, both in terms of actual engineering, but also magically. What are the pieces that that cogwheel is very important, so making note of all of this for later. Zephyrin, do you want to make some subtle sabotages on their machines here while I look at the paperwork?
You look at the paperwork. I will do with the machinery. Basically, whatever it looks like has been prepped for the next day to work on. I want to just talk with it a little bit.
So most of the machinery that's been prepped is for the cover for this plant.
Great.
They're gears, widgets, things of that nature.
Yeah. I just want to.
There's also a machine that seems to deal with high heat.
Oh, I want to look at that one.
And it's basically creating different shapes of shielding. Basically, it's shaped by the second floor. So it puts the machines themselves take in the metal and refine it, and then it's sent up to the second floor to be shaped from what you can tell.
Yeah, that's going to be more of a pain is if they're getting things that are ready to be shaped when they can't shape it than if one of the things that makes it. Yeah, I'm going to go up to the second floor.
Okay.
Absolutely.
When you're done, you should check the paperwork, because I'm just going to note that I imagine that's going to be an exchequer check, and I'm really bad with money. And I know that you are not bad with money. So
I have a lot of
you know,
it, so you know it's fair.
That is fair.
I don't have a lot of it, actually. For some reason, I don't. I keep losing it somehow, or overpaying it. Anyway, this lets us, you know.
Okay, I don't have any cards for it anyways.
But I imagine you have a better base score in exchequer than I do.
I've got good.
Yeah, I have got poor. So
Yeah,
I'm just
no,
saying
I do.
that, yeah,
I do have a better base. Definitely do.
While I do want to know, would you like to play tinkering to mess with the machines?
Yeah, I wish I had more tinkering cards, but I have so many stupid clubs. I'll manhandle them a little bit.
Offsuit, but on color is.
That's true.
Half.
That's true.
Half.
I do have one single card that is on color.
You're looking at an 8 for this. Because most of what you're dealing with on the second floor are.
It doesn't matter what I play because I've got 10 and tinkering.
Well, it does matter because if you can get a 16, that's a crit, and you can get a check mark.
Yep.
Half of 9 is not 6,
5.
so.
But then you could play an offsuit for 1, and that would get you to 16.
It's true, and it could be
or
double.
Same suit for half. Same suit for half as well. Same color.
Yeah, that's
same
what the half would be.
Yeah.
That's what the half would be. That's what the 5 came from. Then yeah, I'll do that. I'll play my these two. Rotato potato. There we go. Flip. To get to 16.
Excellent. That will get you a critical success. You will, there's multiple stations for this one in particular. Most of the tools are hand tools, but there do seem to be some specialized, like the equivalent of power tools, but they're more the size of like the jaws of life from EMTs, or not EMTs, from first responders, because the era. So like, we don't think of something as compact as what we see in hand tool or in power tools.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's much more of like a two-handed
and
machine.
I'm not making the sabotage obvious. Basically, I'm gonna like uncalibrate everything, so that way they'll be like, "Oh, let's do this," and then it's just gonna be off by just enough that they won't notice it at first. But then once they start looking at the pieces, hopefully there'll be so many in, they'll be like, "Shit, we have to redo all of this."
Love it.
Yeah,
and maybe even remachine some parts, like not just calibration, but like if you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just enough so that it's not immediately obvious, and they won't notice it until they go to assemble it, and it's gonna end. They're gonna have to redo it all. Just recalibrate everything a little bit. I could go with an obvious, but I don't want to. It's more fun to just.
No, I love it. I absolutely do. Is there anything that Lady Deirdre would like to do during this set of shenanigans?
As I said, I am the lookout for this situation. So I'm gonna. I don't have a diamond in this moment for perception, but I am going to play this heart.
Okay. So that'll be 6.
6, and this additional heart, because I can play more than one. The 7, so that gets me to 10 plus the base 6, so I'm a 16 right now.
Yes. Oh, excellent. So as you're looking about, which will give you a target, the target will be 10 for this
Yeah.
because it is a large building. You can't kind of watch
No, I
from
can't keep.
every angle from one space. But that's a full success. And with a full success, you will note there does seem to be an exterior security that walks through
Mm.
with
Mhm.
some form of hand torch. Um, and is looking at the entrances, but is not really looking in windows or anything, but does seem to make a circle twice since you've been there, about 45 minutes apart. Because I'm guessing this is
Okay.
taking you guys
Oh
upwards of an
yeah.
hour at this point. Um, and so there is a rotating external guard, but only one. Well, one at a time. You don't know if it's the same one, but one at the time at this interval.
While I'm working upstairs, just misaligning everything by just ever so slightly. There's just
Mm-hmm.
quiet that like comes, just softly. If you're nearby, you can hear it.
Excellent.
Yeah, just a little maniacal, quiet cackle as I do villainous deeds.
All
It's
right.
true villainy right there. It's just messing on calibrating everything just a little bit. And then
Once
I'll
all of
double check the
yeah,
paperwork because I was asked to.
yeah, once all of that is done, you can take a look at the ledger. You'll find it.
Checker.
Yes, exchequer.
Okay. And if I have good, I can only play one card, right?
No, good. You can play two.
Oh, okay. Then I will play two. I'll play same suit. But no, or not same color though. So it'll be 8.5 jack
12 or 6, so
plus
14
6.
plus 6, 20.
We round up.
Yeah.
Yeah, rounded up.
Nice.
And that'll give
It's a
you
good. So, yeah.
a critical success again.
Oh,
so
nice.
You can mark on your exchequer as well. The books are not kept in a secretive code or anything, so it's a pretty low bar for someone who's familiar with this sort of thing. You will
I've done
find
payroll before. I have staff.
you'll find that there are 2, 3 entries that seem to be using they don't list a name or an address. They list a service. Does that make sense?
Yes,
It's
yes.
like consulting is what they is what they have them listed as, and they stand out as quite suspicious. One or two of them coincide with the time that Peters was here, and one of them ends up being about the time that energy displacement happened, which was shortly after Peters had left.
Okay. I'll write notes in my little ledger on a separate page from the schematics, obviously. Yeah, make notes of that.
Okay. And
Couple
on
suspicious
that note,
entries.
we've gone over a little bit, so I am going to fade to black as you all are leaving. We can flash back to things that you would have done if necessary at the start of next game. And we'll go to outros. Thank you all. My name's Chris Geary. I am your host for this game. And you can find me on Blue Sky at Chris Geary. You can find me here on Sundays for Castle Falkenstein. And let's go clockwise to... actually, no, let's go back to counterclockwise so we can end on the owner of the channel. And so I'll pass it over to Trooper. Thank you for being here, Trooper.
Thank you for having me. I'm Trooper SJP. I'm going to give my love first and foremost. I want to give my love to Deirdre for the urchins.
Yes.
I want to give my love to Lindy for the cackling, the maniacal cackling. Absolutely. And I want to give my love to Chris for like very exciting pieces, like little parts and pieces that we get to pull together. I love that. We ask you questions, and I love the way you answer them. So thank you for that. And you can today is Sunday. You can find me on Tuesday, most likely, unless anything changes, at 8 p.m. Eastern over at Other Doc for the first episode of Lords of Gossamer and Shadow, which is a game that is based off of the Amber Diceless system. And then you can find me RPG Wednesday over at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm pretty sure, where I will be doing a post-mortem on Ribbon Drive over at PB Plays Inside's channel, if you saw that show, which was really fun. And then Friday will be at 7 p.m. Eastern. Will be Through the Valley of the Dead, part 5 of 6, Wandering DM Simon's new game that he's been developing, where we are Martian cowboys in a post-dystopian world. And then back here again for more Castle Falkenstein. And as I'm saying this very slowly and deliberately, I'm only doing so for no particular reason other than to just make sure that my dates are all correct, and they are.
Rock on.
Yep.
All of those are exciting. And I am very fond of this cast, but I'm also very fond of the cast for the Martian Cowboy group. That is an amazing group of people. You should definitely check that out if you haven't already.
Cause trouble.
Yeah. And on to Lindy.
Hello, 'tis I, Lindy. My love for tonight. I loved Lady Deirdre at the tea. She's just sussing everybody out, just trying to, just being cool, sipping tea and being like, interesting. Just being like the quiet, commanding presence. I loved Adolf. Just being trying to make the other tea goers feel more comfortable. Like, hey, I'm from the working class too, and it was really fun. I liked that. And I liked Zephyrin getting to look at blueprints and paperwork and fuck with machinery and give a small evil cackle that definitely does not belie her delight in evil deeds like sabotage. Yeah, that's my love for tonight. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait to see more about this infernal machine. Until then, you can find me this week. There's no Monday, Tuesday games, so you can find me on my channel on Wednesday afternoon for Tracks of Terror. We're starting off at the Hot Springs. This will be our Hot Springs episode. Starting at the Hot Springs. We will not spend the entire session at the Hot Springs. Sorry, players. Things are going to happen, and you might need to go find those children who yearn for the mines. I don't know. We'll figure it out. You'll see. That'll be Wednesday. Friday, Martian Cowboys. I'll be there as Poppy Pepler, who's just thrilled about everything that's been going on. Yep, thrilled. And then here on Sunday for more fabulous, absolutely mad Castle Falkenstein.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Truly. Madly. Truly madly.
Truly madly.
Falkenstein.
Truly madly.
And then last but definitely not least, the owner of this channel who makes all of this possible for us, Deirdre. And if I might, I do have one last announcement. Would you like me to say it before or after your piece?
You go first.
Okay. The announcement is this. If from our audience we get 5 shout outs on your particular Blue Sky channel between now and next Sunday, there will be a secret letter left for one of the characters at the start of next game.
Okay, we need more details on the rules for here. So we need to have the viewers at home shout out the game. Since the VOD will be going up on the YouTube channel. Hi, by the way, there is a YouTube channel. It does exist. All of the link is in the chat. Would you like them to include the link to the YouTube of the episode?
Yes, that would be great. A link to the YouTube or to the Twitch channel. Either is acceptable. So that way they know where they can find us.
Yes, indeed. Okay.
And tag one of us in it so that way we can keep track. Okay? Tagging all of us is great, but some people aren't a fan of that. But tag at least one of us so we can keep track.
No, everybody here is going to be tagged. Tag us all. We want to know. How else can we, vicariously stalk you through the internet to make sure that you appreciate everything that we do and validate our existence? No, really. But yes. Okay, so you heard it here. I'm going to put the same announcement up on Blue Sky, and I'll put it in the community page on YouTube when this goes up on YouTube, probably tomorrow morning. It'll be great. So, everybody, I want to know who gets the letter. Like, you got to send these things out so we know who gets the letter. God. All right. But hey, everybody. As for me, thank you all for being here. Thank you, Chris, for running this game. Thank you, Lindy and Trooper, for playing with me, because it's always fun when we get to be on the same side of the GM screen. It happens way too rarely. Happens way too rarely, but it's always a good time to have. My love, first I'm going to give love to Adelwolf's attempts at being very proper that are just kind of ignored, right? Like, appreciated, but kind of ignored in the best way possible. And it, like, I have a present.
It's the kind of proper that you only do. It's kind of proper you only do when you did not grow up aristocratic. Do you know what I mean? Like, because if you're aristocratic, you just don't actually have to be that proper because, you've got the status.
Why do you think I act this way?
Which is kind of hilarious, because Adelwolf is being that very proper because he hasn't been grown up that aristocratic. Zephrine gets to ignore most of the social norms because she is that aristocratic, and Deirdre knows all of them and picks and chooses which ones she's going to follow at any given time, and then if she doesn't, can play the, oh wait, I'm sorry, I forgot these are human rules thing, when she chooses to. Because she is also technically of the same rank of nobility, if not higher, depending on how you can look at it, but not human, so her rank of nobility doesn't matter to humans, which is great. I love it. I also love the fact that Zephrine, the little aside with the lady's maid, and the, oh wait, I have treats, I have chocolates, I have them enjoy them. Also the evil maniacal laughter. Just notes were made. Notes were made.
Supervillain in training. You gotta practice the laugh. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? What did you say?
What? Nothing.
What?
Again, I think Deirdre's biggest problem right now with Zephrine's desire to attract the attention of Moriarty is the fact that he's an Englishman. Right? Like,
it's fair.
And not just any Englishman, like a really, like, Englishman.
Yeah.
Loved that.
Could be worse.
Could be worse. Mm-hmm. It could be worse. She could be going after, like, one of the members of the royal family. And that would...
For example.
There would be a staged intervention.
Yeah, who cares about them? Who cares about them? They're not cool. Not like Moriarty.
Hi, let me wave Jules Verne in front of your face like a kid keys.
Oh, yes, he's also very cool.
See, here's Jules. Let me introduce you to Jules Verne. But I loved the little maniacal laughter at the end, and the general joy that Zephrine has in sabotaging this machine is just great. I love it.
Sabotage my rival's work? Absolutely. Champagne after this, y'all.
I think that will be Deirdre's way of getting you fully distracted from Moriarty. He picked Anders over you.
It's like a league. He doesn't have a say over everything. Someone else may have a point to that.
But he's the head of the league.
Yes, and
I think that's where Deirdre's gonna go with it. It'll be hilarious. We'll see if it works. We don't know.
What skill does one use for forgery?
Art or stealth, depending on, I guess, on the GM.
Maybe because I just feel like maybe some people Zephyrine, could do a little editing of those schematics.
Now
Oh yeah.
that I would go with probably just tinkering
Mm-hmm.
to try and make it look like it belongs. There'd just be a little higher target value,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Maybe
you're
we'll have a
trying-
flashback to that.
Yeah.
Because and anything you can do to make, because especially if like Moriarty's like, let me look at your plans, you're like, you suck. I mean, again,
Yeah. Oh, that's that's a very good point. Gotta make it look bad. Because he happened to show up.
So we'll find out. And as I always love everything that Chris throws at the table because it will always be great. I did love I also loved the description of Adolf's casting of the spell. It was just very, very visual in a way that I appreciated. I thought it was very well done. Also loved everything about the urchins. The urchins were great. You know, it's a Victorian setting. There have to be urchins. There have to be many urchins. It's great. But
one of them might be named Oliver.
For sure.
Yes.
And just the note I put in chat, I don't know if the players got to see it. I did look it up. Mandatory compulsory primary education doesn't start until 1889, which would be next year. So having them on the street like that would not be uncommon, especially for poorer classes.
I mean, they should probably be working in factories.
Yes. Or like servants, you know?
it's okay. I'm going to get them better jobs and better ways of doing things. And I have a grand plan for what to do with Hans. It might involve training him in sabotage and murder and certain Republican ideals, but...
This would be good henchman skills. I mean, what? What?
I'm going to... We'll see. We'll see. I don't know if he'll qualify for henchman. He might qualify for independent
I said
contractor.
henchman, I meant assistant. Oh, what?
All right. We might get him an assistant. All right. But thank you everybody for being here. As for me, hey everybody, I am your friendly neighborhood Prax. Prax the Bard over on Instagram, Hive, and Blue Sky. You can follow us there, where we all share all of our wonderful joy and information and things. Tomorrow, we'll be back with more late night art and thirst club, which I guess is what we're calling the Dragon Age streams that we've been doing, community playthroughs, with Dragon Age Inquisition. So we're starting Dragon Age Inquisition, and we'll see where we go. We're gonna let chat is gonna help me make decisions, and we will, if necessary, when chat is tied, we have a dice, and we will see what happens. Will it be chaos? Probably. Will it be a lot of fun? Yes. Will poor choices be made? Yes. Will there be certain things we will not do? Absolutely fucking yes. The Chargers never die. And if you don't know, it's okay. But since we just lost Trooper, I'm going to wrap this up. You can follow me on YouTube, where I'm going to be posting the rules for Chris's challenge to our audience members about getting a letter to the players. You can also follow me here, because you should hang out with us more often. But that, I think, is everything. Right? Is there anything else we need to know?
No.
All right. Well, let us see if there is anybody up tonight to raid. Cybernation Uncensored is playing some Vampire the Masquerade. We can go send a raid over to them and share some love. And I'll see you all, if not during the week for Dragon Age, then back here on Sunday for more Castle Falkenstein fun. We will see you next time, everybody.